Hey guys, you are watching Marrero Family Farm. My name is Jennifer, and today I just had to come outside. I wanted to come out and pasture first just to say hi to the babies, and here they come now. So the babies are coming up. So this guy here and this one here are the last two of the babies left. We call this one Mr. and this one, I call him Jack for Black Jack. I think Alexia calls him Goofy because he makes funny faces like his mama. And here she comes, speaking of mama. But I really came out in pasture, well, one, to say hello to the goats because they're always cute to say hi to. This weather has been so wackadoodle. This morning it was like 54 degrees, so it was pretty chilly. Now it's 74. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, so I am in like summer weather clothes. But this morning it was so cold, it was jacket weather. So now it's hot. The sun is shining, which there's definitely no complaints with that. But I really wanted to come out just to check on the big mama over here and see how she's doing. There has been no change in her whatsoever. So it is very fair to say she is not pregnant with AI. Now that isn't to say that she isn't pregnant at all. There is still some sort of a possibility that she could be pregnant. It could be Zeke's baby, but she is not pregnant from the artificial insemination, which is a bummer, because I really did want to see what a mini Jersey would look like coming from her, from something that I get the option to pick. You know, every time I've had a cow, we've done artificial insemination, nothing has ever taken, including this one. So it's kind of depressing knowing that you spend that much money to get the semen, which are, you know, $75 a straw for the semen, plus you have to pay for the vet to come out. If it doesn't take the first time, then they come out for the second time, but you have to pay for it. So it adds up very quick. I think with the 3 cows that we've had AI'd, which would be Daisy once, we had Peaches, our Highland cow, we had her AI'd twice and nothing took. And we also had another mini Jersey, which was Duchess. I don't know if you guys remember her or not, but she was a little short 38-inch mini Jersey. And we tried getting her AI'd as well, and that did not take. We AI'd her once. So, you know, you're talking $75 times 4 plus the vet visits. We spent well over $1,000 to get these animals AI'd with nothing to show for. So, never seen a return on that investment. But we do have Zeke, and hopefully we can get Zeke and Daisy together to at least get Daisy bred. I don't know if we're going to end up keeping Daisy. Our goal was to keep Daisy until she at least had a calf, so we can see what the calf would look like, and, you know, probably just keep the calf and put Daisy off to another home. And the reason why we were going to do that was because Daisy doesn't produce a lot of milk. Now, granted, the last time that she did have a calf, which was Abby, it was her first time calving. So even with that though, she only gave us like 1 gallon of milk a day, and a cow of her size should be giving at least 2 gallons a day, and they're a big animal to feed. So you have to think about how much money it costs to buy 1 gallon of milk at the store, let's say organic grass-fed milk at the store, and how much we're paying to feed her on a daily basis or monthly basis, however you want to look at it. And it just doesn't weigh out. Even on the expensive organic milk, it doesn't weigh out. So we really have to decide what our next step is going to be and how we want to handle this. We're probably going to wait another month or 2 just to see what happens. But if we don't get a baby in a month or 2, then I think the next step is going to be to just go ahead and get Abby bred with Zeke. What I like about that combination, honestly, is that Zeke is very small and so is Abby. and she's a year old this month, and we want to breed her. I think I said I wanted to breed her in June or July, so she'll calve around this time again next year. What are you doing? You okay? What a silly dog. I just saw him digging over on the other side to try to get cool, and now he's digging over here trying to get cool. You need a bath or something? Lady just got out of heat, so they are done doing the funky dance. You know, no more of that, thank the Lord, because it was kind of embarrassing when I had a daughter and a father. They came to pick up those two girls, and it was so embarrassing because Sergeant and Lady were doing the funky dance the entire time they were here, and I had to apologize because it was just like, you know, I can't stop them from doing that. They're just gonna do it, and that's all there is to it. And I had to keep them together because we need to get Lady bred. But I don't even know if it took. I don't know if they got the job succeeded or what. It was just a mess. Sergeant was just all over the place. He didn't know what he was doing. It was kind of embarrassing. So we'll find out in a couple of months whether or not she has. Actually, I think dogs are pregnant for, I believe it's either 63 or 65 days. So 2 months is when she'll have puppies if she's pregnant, but we should know probably by next month whether or not she took. I think we'll start noticing a difference with her. Look at this. You're a mess. Look how dirty you are. Why are you so dirty? You tired? Are you sleepy? Aww. So, like I said, we'll find out here shortly whether or not it took. We're not really 100% worried about that right now. We got a lot on our plate, so that's kind of like the last thing that I really want to be dealing with. But if she is, that's great. But if not, that's fine too. We'll wait until, you know, another 6 months isn't going to hurt us to find out whether or not we can get her bred. But fly strike. So fly strike is basically the time of the year where it's super hot. There's tons of flies. And what happens is when you have fly strike, the flies come in so bad and they start like creating bites and then wounds and then infection. So it's just best to go ahead and have your kids, your goats or your calves, whatever it is, it's best to have them in the months where it's like this in springtime, where it's not too warm and not too cold. It just all depends. You just have to kind of know the area that you live in, and you make the decision of when you want your animals to breed and when you want them to kid or calve or give birth. So that's what we try to do. Now, for Hazel and Hope, our two Nigerian dwarf goats that I don't believe got pregnant, I want to try to breed them as soon as possible, so hopefully they'll kid by October. So having kids for goats in October would be fine too. Even if you had a calf in October, I guess that's fine. But for me personally, because it takes 9 months for that whole process, I want to schedule it to where they're actually calving March, April, or May. April and May are the prime 2 months, personally. Daisy isn't going to be producing milk for us. Then I need to make sure that we have milk all year round. Now we are milking our 3 girls who are in milk, so that would be Bella, Ruby, and Piper. We are milking the 3 of them, and we get about a half a gallon in the morning, and we're just now starting to milk in the evening. Right now we're only getting a quart in the evening. I don't know if that's going to change or not, so we're just going to have to see. Now today they're out with their mom again, only because my husband and I need to make another enclosure for the boys. But we definitely have to keep them separated from their mom. With the boys, you really should separate them at 8 weeks, and the girls at 12 weeks. They're definitely more than ready to go ahead and get separated. They're big boys, they're healthy boys, they're eating grain, they're eating grass, they're eating hay. They're really good foragers. So it's really about time that we get them away from their moms. So I think we're going to be working on that today. My husband's exhausted. He's been working really hard all week. So he is inside just kind of resting right now because he knows I'm going to put him to work later on this afternoon. So he should be getting up and getting motivated here shortly, and we'll get that done. Another thing that I wanted to get done today was up pot the rest of my garden veggies. I have not watered any of these plants only because I knew we were getting a lot of rain last night. So for the most part, they are doing pretty good. Let's see, we have the zucchinis and squashes and stuff over here. I have another one over there. And then we have some more. This one's spaghetti squash. This is a flower. I think that's either the wallflower or the dragon something. This guy, it looks like he broke a little bit right here, but for right now, it's still doing okay. We've had some really windy days, and I didn't want to bring them in, so they kind of took a little beating, but they are doing okay. This is a zucchini, I know that. The tomatoes are doing pretty good. I'm going to pull off some of these bottom leaves that are yellowing a little bit. Hey, mister.
What are you doing?
I am going over some of the stuff that we have planted that we need to put in bigger pots.
Oh yeah, like that one.
Yeah, that one, but mostly like these tomatoes right here.
Oh.
You see how they're getting kind of big?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to put those in bigger pots, and probably some of those flowers over on the other side.
How are you going to do that?
How am I going to do that?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get some of the soil that we have, the composted soil, and I'm going to get some bigger pots and just kind of put them in there. You want to help me?
Oh yeah, sure.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe for like half of the time.
Okay. So these are doing good over here. This is a squash. We've got another one over here. Another one over here. The flowers are starting to come up a little bit. The cucumber is not doing so great over here, so I'm a little concerned about the cucumber. Here's another one right here. The one that was right here got ripped. I don't know how. And then there's another one right here, but they are growing so slow. I believe one of the reasons why they're growing so slow is just because we've had some really crazy weather. Like I said, it's been super cold in the morning and then hot in the afternoon. So when you have warm weather vegetables and fruits that are planted or outside when it's cold out, it's going to stunt their growth. It's going to slow them down. But once it starts getting hot, hopefully they'll be established enough to where nothing should really affect them. So hopefully that's the case. We'll see what happens once we start really getting some warmer weather. But, you know, it is what it is. You take chances with gardening. You never know what's going to happen. Usually our last frost date is March 15th or 14th. But this year it went into April, which is very unusual. So you just, like I said, you just don't know what's going to happen. Raised bed, we have some more cucumbers. Again, they're just struggling. The cucumbers, these are doing okay. But for the most part, the cucumbers are struggling. The pole beans are starting to take off a little bit. So these guys are doing pretty good. They're starting to climb. These zucchinis are doing well. We got some flowers starting to come up in that area there. This that I thought was mint is actually just more lemon balm, so I'm torn about that. We have so much lemon balm, it's not funny. Lemon balm just pops up everywhere. Once you plant it in the ground, I feel like it just picks up and just goes all over the place. You will find it in places you know that you did not plant it. So birds are picking it up and moving it, the seeds are blowing, whatever the case is, it will end up everywhere. So be very careful when planting lemon balm. And I know that mint is in the same family as lemon balm, but my mint got taken over somehow by lemon balm. I don't know how that happened, but it did. There's zucchini here that's doing great. some cilantro that's starting to take off. I've got, I thought it was a double, it looked like a double head tomato, but these are some tomatoes that are doing great. We're gonna go ahead and, like I said, we're gonna get the round pin done for the boys to separate them from their mom. And I'm gonna work on up potting these vegetables. We are just gonna do a round circular area. The reason why we chose this section over here is for a couple different reasons. One, the ground is flatter, so it's gonna be easier for us to do the round circular area like we wanted. And also there's more shade over here, and the grass is pretty long over here too, so they'll have plenty to nibble on. Yeah. Super cheap fence, super cheap. I mean, so cheap. It is welded, but this is such a flimsy wire. Let me show you what happens. The cheaper the stuff you get, the easier it breaks. So it just kind of snaps, even though it's welded. It is such junk, but when you're trying to get something done quick and easy and as cheap as possible, sometimes you learn your lesson as you go. Here's the worst one. Look at this. Look at this. This one that's welded, it's supposed to be welded all the way down. It came completely off. We just need this fence here to contain the boys. They'll be able to still see their mom. They can still see the goats and stuff back there. And they're in the shade. They have some grass. So this is a good spot for them. So I'm not really worried about putting hay in here for them. They have plenty of grass to eat for right now. Once I notice that the grass is getting a little low and they've really started to kind of, eliminate all the grass, then I'll go ahead and make sure that they have enough hay in here. But for right now, this is going to work out perfect, and it'll keep them away from their mom, and that way we'll be able to milk mom fully out without sharing milk with them, because they definitely do not need any more milk from their mama. I was thinking about that when we were looking for something after we put the pool in there for them. I saw that. Yeah, it's not cracked like the pool. I know, but the pigs, the ducks still like it though. Oh, it's cracked even more now. They've destroyed it. So when we put Zeke over here, we had to put in a new water source because the creek has dried up. We had to put in something shallow because the pig will knock it over every time, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's a bucket, if it's a big bucket, if it's a trough. I mean, it really does not matter what kind of bucket you put in here. That guy will knock it over every single time. So we put the pool in thinking that that would be shallow enough, but then it's just cracking and it's over with. So we're going to pull that out. One who's always going to be breaking things is going to be Tiny Tim. He's a mess. But at least they'll get some fresh water. It was great when the creek was running, but it started to dry up just about 2 days ago or so, maybe 3 days ago. The creek is only running maybe a few times during the year, but it's a nice break from having to run around and filling everybody's water trough, but that's okay. But now that we're done with the goat's pen, I'm going to start working on up potting those veggies. So this here is the compost pile that I'm going to be using to up pot the veggies, and I just have a bunch of different size pots with me, and I'm just going to fill as many as I can possibly hold. All of this soil over here is just from the compost that we've collected throughout the last year, maybe 2 years. It's from cow manure, goat manure, chicken manure, pig manure. It has wood chips in it. It has pine flakes in it, hay, just a bunch of really good stuff that's been breaking down for the last couple of years. We're not really consistent when it comes to like turning and preparing it quicker. There are ways, you guys can Google it, but there's plenty of ways. There's lots of YouTube videos that will show you how you can bin it and get it to the correct heat temperature and stuff like that. We literally just sat it here. Every now and then we'd uncover the tarp and let the rain hit it and just kind of, you know, fling it around with a shovel and then just cover it back up. But nothing specific, not really gauging it or anything, but it's been sitting long enough that it's broken down really well. We're just going to do the work on the back end of the well here. I have all my soil down there on the ground, but let me go ahead and get this started and I'll show you the outcome. Alright friends, I'm looking crazy. Oh man. It's been a busy day. Got a lot of stuff done. Behind me, it looks crazy. It looks like a mess. This area over here, I'm drinking. Not drinking. Drinking water. We just got finished eating dinner. Got a lot of stuff done. We had to do a quick, easy dinner tonight. This is my daughter's art studio, I guess you can call it. She's very much so into doing painting, clay. She makes all these clay dinosaurs and just all kinds of different stuff. So this is her area, and it's always a mess. She's just very artsy and messy, but I had to get in the garage today and do some organizing just to make sure that we have our ducks in a row in case we end up selling the house. We need to start making sure that everything is in order and I have enough boxes and, you know, all that fun stuff. So anyways, I got that done today for the most part, just the garage, nothing crazy. And so I know that I showed you guys that I was up potting a lot of plants, and the reason why I'm up potting them is because I'm going to be leaving probably about half the plants for whoever purchases the home, and half the plants are coming with me. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to go off to a new home and not have any fresh vegetables during the most wonderful time of the year. So I want to be able to bring some with me that are already, you know, started and ready to go. So I got a lot of this stuff done. All of these down here, they all have trays underneath them, so they won't have water loss and stuff like that. You don't want to just up pot them in a pot like this that has drainage. I like to put them in something that way if they get forgotten about, roots will, search for water. All of these are peppers down here. Got some more peppers over here. Lots of tomatoes. I'm probably going to leave 10 tomato plants for them and maybe 3 or 4 pepper plants, some squash. They're also going to get some herbs. And, you know, I already have the cucumbers and green beans and stuff like that going. There's some more cucumbers over here. Anyways, I think these are cucumbers. I honestly, you know, I put little tags in there, but once you start watering, those tags get washed out and then you end up forgetting what's what. I feel really good about leaving this stuff for whoever purchases the home. I know that whoever gets this house is going to be, you know, just really appreciative of having a garden already started. So anyways, I am exhausted. I'm ready to get inside, take a shower, and relax. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. And until next time, you guys be blessed. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.